What's new in Diddy's world? Prison bars. But it's not just that. Believe it or not, there's a new Diddy lawsuit on the horizon, and boy, this one is looking serious. It might just be the one to put him behind bars for good. We've seen Diddy dodge a ton of wild accusations before, but this time, things are hitting different. People are saying this could be the final nail in the coffin for Diddy, and if the claims are true, it's not looking pretty. Diddy is now dealing with a new lawsuit from a woman who says he drugged and sexually assaulted her while also trying to intimidate her. According to documents filed on Friday and picked up by a source, this woman, going by Jane Doe, claims Diddy assaulted her multiple times over a 4-year period. She even says one of these incidents led to her getting pregnant, but she later suffered a miscarriage. Her lawyer, Joseph L. Ciaccio, shared that she first met Diddy abroad in 2020 when he invited her on an all-expenses-paid trip. From 2021 to 2022, she was seeing Diddy regularly, meeting him at his homes in LA, New York, Miami, and other spots. However, she claims she wasn't going willingly, alleging Diddy's team pressured her into coming using manipulative and harassing language. The lawsuit states that drivers would show up at her home to take her to Diddy, making her feel like she had no choice. She also claims Diddy spiked her drinks to make her do what he wanted, and that in April 2022, he allegedly forced her to cuddle up with him at his LA crib. She says she suffered physical injuries from these interactions, including one time in the spring of 2022 when she ended up with bruises and a bite mark on her feet, though she says she doesn't recall how it happened. She also accuses Diddy of making her take ketamine and other drugs in July 2022, causing her to black out. But that wasn't all. After that, she says she became pregnant. The suit further states that one of Diddy's associates kept calling her, pushing her to get an abortion, but she eventually had a miscarriage. She claims that after the miscarriage, she tried to distance herself from Diddy, but he allegedly harassed her with calls and texts, and this reportedly continued until July 2024. During this time, she says she feared for her safety, especially after seeing what Diddy did to Cassie and other women who filed multiple lawsuits against him. She also claims that Diddy was somehow able to track her location and monitor her conversations. Now, speaking of Cassie, this poor girl had it rough. However, her decision to come out and speak to the world about Diddy and his dark side is literally what changed the perception about him, especially after that nasty hotel video hit the internet. So back in November 2023, Cassie shook things up by filing a lawsuit against Diddy. This wasn't just any case. It came with some serious jaw-dropping allegations that put a spotlight on their long-term relationship and Diddy's alleged behavior. Cassie had been linked to Diddy for over a decade, both professionally and romantically. She first met him when she was only 19 years old, after being signed to his label, Bad Boy Records, in 2005. But what seemed like a career opportunity quickly turned into something darker. Cassie claimed that Diddy didn't just have a hand in her music career. He had control over her entire life. She described their relationship as one filled with fear and control, with Diddy dictating her career, her finances, and even who she could be around, just like our Jane Doe from the latest lawsuit. Cassie painted a disturbing picture of what happened during their time together. She accused Diddy of physical abuse, claiming he would beat her so badly that she was often left with visible injuries. Beyond the violence, she said he manipulated her into hiding from her family and the public, keeping her isolated from those who could offer support. And to make things worse, Cassie alleged that Diddy gave her drugs to maintain control over her, keeping her trapped in his world. But what really shook people was Cassie's claims about the freak-offs. According to her, Diddy would host these drug-fueled sex parties where she was forced to participate in sexual acts with male sex workers while he watched. This is Jonathan Oddie, one of the people who was probably on Diddy's payroll.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate, tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay?
Even more disturbing, She said some of these encounters were recorded without her consent. To survive these traumatic events, she claimed she had to take drugs to mentally check out from what was happening. There were also some specific incidents Cassie highlighted in the lawsuit. She described a hotel encounter where Diddy allegedly chased her down a hallway, threw her to the ground, and kicked her. In another shocking claim, Cassie said that after trying to end their relationship in 2018, Diddy forced his way into her home and raped her. On top of that, she accused Diddy of vandalizing rapper Kid Cudi's car to intimidate him and keep him from dating her. Though the lawsuit was settled out of court just 24 hours after it was filed, it definitely changed the game. Cassie thanked her family, fans, and legal team for supporting her through the ordeal, while Diddy continued to insist he was innocent, despite the settlement. Cassie's lawsuit wasn't just about her personal experience, it opened the floodgates for other women to come forward with similar accusations against Diddy. Such was the case with Dawn Richards' lawsuit against Diddy added even more fuel to the fire as more serious accusations started coming out about Diddy, who became America's most wanted quickly after.
Dawn Richard had once been on top of the world. She was a rising star and a member of the popular girl group Danity Kane, with hits like Showstopper and Damage. Reaching the top 10 on the Billboard charts in the early 2000s. Their mentor, none other than one of the most influential figures in American music, Sean Diddy Combs.
Dawn, a 41-year-old singer known from MTV's Making the Band, as part of Danity Kane and also for her work with Diddy Dirty Money, dropped these allegations about how she was mistreated by Diddy over nearly a decade. Her professional relationship with Diddy started in 2005, and while they worked on various projects together, she's now stepping forward with some disturbing details. Her lawsuit accuses Diddy of sexually assaulting her during their time working together. She claims he touched her in all the places he shouldn't while she was changing, even walking into her dressing room without any notice. On top of that, she says Diddy pressured her to undress during rehearsals, making her feel unsafe and disrespected. It was more to it. Dawn's lawsuit dives into the physical and emotional damage that she lived through. Diddy would put her through intense, nearly 2-day-long rehearsals, with no breaks for food or sleep, leaving her exhausted and drained. She also says he used foul and degrading language, calling people fat, ugly, and worse, making the entire environment toxic. According to her, the harsh conditions caused her to lose weight, get dehydrated, and even develop skin rashes. What makes these accusations even more shocking is that Dawn says she wasn't just a victim, she was also a witness. She stepped in for Cassie and said that she saw some of the nasty and gruesome things that he put her through. One incident that stands out is when Diddy allegedly threw a scalding hot pan of eggs at Cassie during an argument. Seeing all this went down in front of her added another layer of trauma to her experience. On top of all this, Dawn is also coming for Diddy's wallet. She's claiming he owes her millions, including $3.3 million in unpaid salary and royalties for the work she did with Danity Kane, another $1.8 million for unpaid wages from over 100 tour dates, and additional money for promoting Diddy's Ciroc vodka. And once again, we saw confirmation and evidence from the infamous freak-offs. Dawn's lawsuit told us that he threw parties with underage girls, used illegal drugs, and threatened her and others to keep quiet about what they saw. If you thought that these two women were the only ones who suffered trauma because of Didster, well, you're wrong. The list just goes on and on. But on the list of the women who filed suits, Joy Dickerson-Neal comes next. Joy Dickerson-Neal's lawsuit against Diddy is yet another example of lawsuits against this dude. Joy filed in November 2023, just before New York's Adult Survivors Act deadline, but her allegations date all the way back to 1991, when she was a college student at Syracuse University. She's accusing Diddy of some serious stuff that's still haunting her to this day. According to Joey, it all started when she agreed to have dinner with Diddy during a school break, although she was reluctant. She claims Diddy spiked her drink when she stepped away to use the bathroom, which kicked off a disturbing series of events. From there, She says she was taken to several spots, including a recording studio and Diddy's home, where the assault allegedly happened. But it didn't stop there. Joy's lawsuit goes on to claim that Diddy not only assaulted her, but also recorded the whole thing without her consent. According to her, he shared the footage with others in the music industry, which left her reputation and career prospects in ruins. On top of that, she says the emotional damage from this event has stuck with her for years. Fast forward to 2024, and Diddy's legal team is fighting back hard. They've already filed a motion to dismiss parts of her lawsuit, arguing that some of the claims Joy is bringing up weren't even covered by laws that existed back in '91. They're also saying that some of the companies named in the lawsuit, like Bad Boy Records and Combs Enterprises, didn't even exist when the alleged incident went down. Despite these legal maneuvers, Diddy has been quick to deny everything. His lawyers have labeled the whole lawsuit as a money grab, claiming Joy's story is completely fabricated and can't be trusted after all these years. Joy's case, along with others, has definitely intensified the spotlight on Diddy, sparking more conversations about accountability in the music industry. For now, the case is still active, and both sides are gearing up for more legal battles ahead. According to the latest Jane Doe lawsuit that we talked about, Diddy is still trying to contact her and maintain control over her. The woman says she suffered trauma, financial loss, and physical harm, and she's now seeking damages, though the amount is unspecified. As expected, there were no comments made yet by Diddy's team regarding these allegations.